Imagine creating a drawing that was so critical of the government that it landed you in prison. That's exactly what happened to Honoré Daumier. Instead of creating art that celebrated kings or wealthy people, Daumier used his art to expose corruption, inequality, and the struggles of everyday people. His work proved that art could be so much more than something beautiful to look at. It could also make people question society and those in power. One of his most powerful works is Rue Transnonain. This lithograph was inspired by a real event in 1834 when French soldiers killed innocent civilians during a protest. Instead of showing a dramatic battle scene, Daumier focused on the victims left behind. The strong contrast between light and dark immediately draws your attention to the man lying in the foreground, creating emphasis and making the scene feel heavy and emotional. The rough textures and realistic detail help communicate the fear and tragedy of the event. Rather than simply documenting history, this artwork criticized government violence and encouraged viewers to think about its human cost. Another famous piece is Gargantua, which is probably Daumier's best-known political cartoon. In this image, King Louis-Philippe is shown as basically a giant sitting on a throne while poor citizens bring him bags of money. At the same time, politicians below receive rewards and titles. Daumier used caricatures, exaggerations, and distorted proportions to make the king look greedy and ridiculous. The oversized figure immediately becomes the focal point of the composition and reinforces the message about corruption and abuse of power. This drawing was so controversial that Daumier was sentenced to 6 months in prison. Even though it cost him his freedom, it also made him one of the most influential political artists in history. Not all of Daumier's work focused on politics. In The Third Class Carriage, he shifted his attention to ordinary working people. The painting shows passengers traveling together in a crowded train. There are no kings, celebrities, or dramatic events, just everyday people trying to get through life. The balanced composition, soft colors, and repeated figures create a sense of unity and rhythm throughout the painting. Instead of making the passengers look helpless, Daumier gives them dignity and respect. This artwork reminds us that ordinary people are just as worthy of being represented in art as the rich and powerful. Later in his career, Daumier also painted scenes inspired by Don Quixote. Unlike his political cartoons, these paintings are quieter and more reflective. His loose brush strokes and symbol forms create a feeling of movement while emphasizing imagination and perseverance. Don Quixote represents someone who continues chasing impossible dreams, and Daumier's interpretation captures both the humor and the humanity of that idea. Honoré changed the way people thought about art. He showed that artists could challenge authority, defend ordinary people, and speak out against injustice. His work combines strong visual elements like contrast, emphasis, balance, and proportion with meaningful themes about power, fairness, and the human experience. Today, many political cartoonists and social commentators continue to follow the path Daumier helped create. I'd like to leave you with this. Honoré Daumier reminds us that art isn't just meant to be beautiful. It can also challenge power, expose injustice, and give a voice to people who might otherwise go unheard.